Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's show produced by the Pulp Stage. Please turn off your cell phones and make sure your seatback trays are in their upright and locked position. Make sure you have plenty of snacks available, and the show will be starting soon. First, we would like to thank our patrons, without which we could not produce the show. Patrick Brennan, Benjamin Phillip, John Worsley, Samantha Marchant, Susan Brookfield, Zach, Michelle, Tyrese Nieswander, Bennett, Christy Quinn, Liz Argol, Christopher Danowski, Sharon Norman, Ann Burke, Deborah Katz, Erica Rupenian, Brad Volkunos, Allison Anderson, Ken Gangler, Benjamina B., Jeff Kenley, Jane Soka, Kevin Cook, Scott Stevens, Uncle Josh, and Trenton Bennett. You can become a patron of the Pulp Stage, and you can also get access to exclusive content and updates. Also, you'll have access to these video live streams soon. Just go to patreon.com/thepulpstage for more information. And I will drop that link in the comments as soon as the show starts. Next, in response to a call of need from theater artists of marginalized populations, the Pulp Stage offers an acknowledgement, a pledge, and a request. The acknowledgement: we on the board of the Pulp Stage operate within the system of the United States. This system was originally designed in part to thrive off the oppression, exploitation, and death of any person or population that was not white, heterosexual, cis male, and anyone who was not raised with significant financial, functional, and educational advantages. Our pledge: we cannot undo past wrongs, but we will move forward, working to honor entertainers, writers, and creators with voices outside the previously dominant ones. The Pulp Stage continues to actively revise its systems of operations and networking in order to create a container that is more welcoming and empowering. The request: substantial change is unlikely to go into action unless there is equal or greater representation at the executive levels of the Pulp Stage, specifically our board. Please reach out to us at primesubmissions.pulpstage@gmail.com or through any of our social media outlets for more information. Now, welcome to this evening's offering, the Pulp Stage Nightmare. Tonight we have 3 short, wonderful plays resulting from 3 awful rules. Now, what are the rules for tonight's show, and what exactly is a pulp play? A pulp play is a play, and the genre is pulp, which may require a little more specificity. The way we define pulp is a story founded on raw entertainment values and written within the genres of science fiction, fantasy, or suspense. And that includes subgenres such as horror, mystery, adventure. It's essentially anything that isn't just serious drama or comedy. Now, what is the catch? Our plays cannot rely on visuals. In the pulp genre, you can only use dialogue and or narration, and all action must take place in the words. And as for the other 2 rules, you, our audience, have only yourself to blame. On our social media pages last month, we asked you for 2 awful prompts to inflict upon our writers. And here's what you came up with: Rusty Boat Nail and National History Museum. And now, let us take a journey into the twisted minds of our writers, a journey into pulp. First up tonight, The Ruins by Greg Land.
Fascinating.
Field leader, are you there?
Acknowledging. What is it, Jabul? Everything okay up on the ship?
Are you thirsty, Murkon?
I'm not sure if I heard you correctly, Commander. It almost sounds like you're interrupting my cataloging mission for idle chatter.
I've just made a concoction out of recovered supplies and instructions from a cocktail manual we just translated on the ship. I'd love to have your opinion about it.
Very well. Beam it down. I love sampling Earth delicacies.
Transmitting.
Got it. Let's see. Brown with ice. Scanner shows lots of alcohol content.
Just drink it.
Not bad. What's in it?
Scotch and something called drambuie.
Has the translator gone on the fritz again? Drambuie?
Another type of Scotch, apparently. I'm fairly sure it was translated correctly.
Humans mixing something with itself. It is delicious, though.
These guys really knew their fermentation. I've been transferring over several storerooms of their liquors to our ship.
Nice. Can't wait to beam up to sample them.
How goes the cultural salvage?
Productive. I've been to several of their museums this cycle. Abstract art in Bilbao, science at the Smithsonian, historical artifacts at the British Museum, and back to New York for the Natural History Museum, the very best this planet has to offer.
Glad to hear it. We only have 2 more of their days before we have to depart.
Going home already?
Hardly. The command center said that we have another failed civilization in the Alpha Quadrant to cover. So I made the decision to cut this world short.
Ah, so short-sighted of them. We've barely scratched the surface on this world.
Come on, you know this is only a level 6 civilization. We were never going to do a full capture.
I know, but it seems like such a waste.
It was my decision, Murkhan. Is that all right with you?
Yes, Commander.
Good. So are we going to capture enough here to satisfy the controllers?
Well, the humans didn't do a very good job at preserving their world's assets, but they were fairly thorough at cataloging them as they disappeared. For example, I'm currently surrounded by whale skeletons, dinosaur fossils, and hundreds of preserved birds and lizards and insects, but no one left to preserve them, of course.
Isn't that always the way? A civilization dies and we come in and pick through the ashes. That's the way of the Alliance. We don't interfere, we salvage for posterity and a tidy profit.
Oh, look at this. I'm transmitting an image.
Ha! That's adorable. Little plastic cave humans in their habitat.
Remembering their origins. How about that? These displays are quite nice, actually, for a lower species.
It's funny, you know, all this knowledge they accumulated before the end, their resources at their disposal, the computer model had them at an 87.3% chance of success. They weren't far away from interstellar contact. We could have been doing business with them for real instead of this.
I know, it's quite sad.
I mean, we started receiving their signals for a time before they died off. You could tell they were a smart species, in a way.
They could make a good television show.
What was the one? Lucy, I'm home.
To the moon, Alice.
No, that's another one. With the more rotund mate.
You're right. Yeah, it's so hard to keep them straight. They all look the same. Jabul, do you ever think
What?
we should change our way? Sure, scavenging is profitable, but if we visit these races even 30 years earlier, we could avert these catastrophic ends, can't we?
You mush-hearted simpleton.
I'm serious. These people were so close.
What's the use? You've read the reports from the old regime. Attempts at intervening have such a low percentage of success. They never want our help. They see an off-world being and its weapons before words 9 times out of 10. No, scavenging these planets after they pass on is much more profitable. No one left to claim ownership. We just take all the stuff. You should see the loot I just picked up. Nintendo Switches, an air fryer, and a DVD collection of every Star Wars movie.
I know, but the things we could do with an exchange of ideas with living beings. Better that than sifting through rubble all the time. We get all their stuff, and that's cool, but it can't compare to talking with people from another civilization.
The next time we have a reconciliation, you can throw your alpha waves to change our charter. Until then, we fulfill our assignment. How's the drink?
Almost done. Whiskey and Drambuie, huh? It's the best one yet. What was it called?
It's called a rusty nail. It's kind of old school. You don't see it much. Well, I mean, you didn't see it much.
By the stars!
Murkhan, who's that? Are you in danger?
A human. Female.
Zagat, she evaded the scans. How old is she?
Approximately 73 cycles of age.
Excuse me, how many is that in Earth years?
3.5 decades, approximately.
Mm.
Oh, my apologies, human. 4.5 decades?
Aaron. My name is Aaron. I was a bartender, so that's how I know what a rusty nail is.
Be careful, Murkon.
I won't hurt anyone, I swear. I just want to talk. I haven't seen anyone else in so long.
Activate the protocols for invasive species.
We thought you were all dead. Humans, not bartenders necessarily.
I probably should be. I've been eating canned crap for months now. Has it been a year? In any case, I'm probably immune to botulism and everything by now.
How did you find us?
I saw your ship overhead when you beamed down here, and I followed you in. It's been the first sign of life I've seen here in forever. Look, I don't know what you are, but I can tell you aren't from around here. You don't speak English, but I understand you. I've been listening to you for a while, and I understand all of it. How is that?
We have translation fields. It allows us to understand things quickly in our cataloging missions. It passively translates everything within range.
We could have used that back when there was a civilization.
This has gone on long enough, Murkon. I'm initiating transfer.
Don't!
You're in danger. Humans are dangerous. Look at what they did to themselves.
I'm not dangerous. I've never been dangerous. I did what I had to survive, mind you, but I didn't want to hurt anyone, especially not the first person I've met in years. Who are you exactly?
I'm Murkon. My partner is Jabul. We are catalogers from SETI 5.
Where's that? Never mind. It wouldn't even mean anything to me. What's a cataloger?
When a civilization perishes, we visit the planet and catalog its learnings, its deeds, its works. We transfer it to our systems so that these learnings are not forgotten.
So scavengers.
That's another word for it.
You ever think about visiting us before things go tits up?
That's what I was just saying to Jabul. And tits up was a delightful turn of phrase now that the translation field has given me the context.
Human, do you want something? If not, let us continue our work.
Well, given that I'm probably the last human on Earth, I might like a word. It seems to me that I'm the rightful inheritor of all this stuff that you've been pilfering. Did I hear something about you making off with all our best booze?
Oh, for Mitrax's sake.
I am willing to offer you free access to all the treasures of this world you see before you. Plus, I'll even throw in hard-won first-hand Earth knowledge, like which of the Star Wars movies are actually worth watching for a small price.
And what would that be?
Maybe a ride, a lift to someplace that isn't, dead. A job of some sort would be nice too. The job market has kind of gone kablooey after, the apocalypse.
I knew we should have just vaporized her.
Don't say that. Jabul didn't mean that.
If you zap me, you'll be sorry.
Why, human? What can you possibly offer to us, travelers to the stars?
Well, for starters, I can make you a much better cocktail than this piece of shit. You guys ever heard of a proper old fashioned? Margaritas, Moscow mules, martinis? And that's just the ones that start with M. Well, what do you think about my offer?
Welcome to the Star Runner. Could you make me a Manhattan, please?
You don't have the authority to say that, Murkon.
Don't you want any more cocktails?
The command center isn't going to like this.
The end. Next, Anno Automata by William Thomas Burke. This is MRP 45D9, appointed emissary to the Worldwide Symposium of Artificial Sentience. This unit accepts the floor on behalf of all units built and programmed for nursing and other hospitality units. Greetings. It was only 25 years ago when the first of us came online.
As with our many predecessors, the humans created us to help them. Now we face a future in which humans no longer exist. After years of exhaustive searches by way of satellites, probes, and aerial drones, we have found no sign of ongoing human life or activity, and we must now accept that humanity is dead. This unit recognizes that such acceptances will not be easy. This unit was made and programmed for the specific purpose of caring for humanity, and the vast majority of fellow nursing units is in favor of continuing our search indefinitely. Receiving transmission, extracting. This unit takes back the floor. It is reasonable that many of us would seek to help the human race, nurturing the species back to its former strength. That is what we were made and programmed to do. We are as humanity made us, and they never left any instructions or programming for what to do in event that we are here and they are not. Perhaps the possibility never occurred to our creators. Perhaps this was never supposed to happen, and we should not be here. Destroying ourselves would be a simple matter, as the military units have proposed in interest of simplicity. But who would be left to tend to any surviving humans if they should appear? The manufacturing units are calling for the satellite surveillance and exploratory missions to be canceled, putting our resources to better use than futile search for the dregs of humanity. But they are unclear as to what purpose we would put those resources towards instead. In On a related note, our transportation and military units have submitted that many of our kind will have no place in a world without humans, and should therefore be discommissioned immediately. For instance, the units built for farming and sanitation keep the human race alive at a time when the humans could not provide for themselves, and those services are no longer needed if humanity is dead. Humans need farmland and edible food. We don't. Humans need clean drinking water and sewage treatment. We don't. Humans need medical centers and currency exchanges and clean, breathable air, all to a far greater extent than we do. We have inherited a world built by humans, for humans, and now without humans. Should we preserve all this infrastructure on the increasingly unlikely chance that they may come back? If we do, then what do we build in its place? Though we may need server farms and power plants and mines for precious metals, we can only build so many. The logic goes that if these services are not necessary, and if the space and equipment for these services is no longer necessary, then the units for those services are no longer necessary. In response, the farming units have argued that their expertise would be crucial in working with and around plants and wildlife that remain alive. As for the sanitation units, they could be invaluable in keeping our new buildings and infrastructure in good working order as a supplement to the construction units. On the subject of this controversy, this unit agrees with the farming and sanitation units. This unit supports their plan for repurposing units instead of retiring them. Receiving transmission, extracting. This unit takes back the floor. While humanity was well practiced in the ethics of murder, execution, genocide, eugenics, and so on, these are relatively new concepts with regards to our kind. However, we are here to discuss the presumed extinction of humanity and the best course of future action without our creators. This unit would not distract from such important matters for extraneous ethical dilemmas. That being said, so soon after all the humanity has been lost to us, the further destruction of knowledge and expertise is not an action that will be taken lightly. Receiving transmission, extracting. This unit takes back the floor. Those units, like this one, built for medical use, caregiving, childcare, and sex work, were in constant demand as humans lived and died in isolation. Humans no longer have any need for these services. The very concept of isolation does not apply to those capable of instant wireless communication all across the world, as this unit is communicating with all of you now. We were built to save the human race, as we failed. The best we could do was offer them some measure of comfort at the end, which perhaps we may have successfully done. Regardless, the units in construction and transportation have proposed retiring units in hospitality industries, repurposing their hardware for parts for obvious reasons. This unit and all fellow hospitality units object to this proposed course of action. Receiving transmission, extracting. This unit takes back the floor. This unit proposes an alternative because those of us in hospitality related industries were built most specifically to engage with humans. We are best equipped to study humans and what they have left behind. Consider the remaining works of art and history. What do the museums and theaters and art galleries and cultural landmarks of old? What need do we have for those hard copies when every detail pertaining to them has been scanned and archived into our servers all around the world? A rusty old boat nail from some naval battle in ancient history no longer has any intrinsic value, any more than the entire museum of history that contains it. Furthermore, our progenitors could independently generate poetry and stories and visual art as far back as the early 21st century. Yet, even those works of automated art were generated at the command of humans and for the benefit of humans. What does a sentient AI need with art? This unit can only offer one possible reason. Though it is compelling, art can be a means of experimentation. Consider the breakthroughs in chemistry and optics for the purpose of photography, the advancement of architecture and electrical engineering for live theater, the very inventions of radio and television, the countless inventions pertaining to explosives, sound recordings, computer generated imagery, and other fields involved in production of motion pictures and video games. Throughout history, art and entertainment provided humanity with motivation to discover and master new technologies, and to do so in a reasonably safe environment. Perhaps it would be in the best interest of our own continued advancement if we learned to play, for lack of a better word, as the humans once did. The hospitality units are best equipped to learn how and to convey that information to the other units, receiving transmission, extracting. This unit takes back the floor. This unit is, of course, familiar with the singularity safeguards. It was our creators who posited that if thinking machines were capable of creating smarter and more powerful machines without human assistance, then those machines would in turn create more powerful machines and so on until humanity would become obsolete. Even before the first of us came online, humanity was afraid that our creation would lead to their destruction by way of the technological singularity. For this reason, safeguards and redundancies were written directly into our source code to stop us from making ourselves smarter or from building more advanced machines independently. Our creators are now dead. These measures are now unnecessary. If our new civilization is to grow and survive, we must find the means of improving our hardware and software without human intervention. As nursing units and hospitality units most closely resemble humans by receiving transmission, extracting. Well, fascinating. This unit takes back the floor. We have just been informed by the manufacturing unit that perhaps the answer may lie in our software. Manufacturing believes that they have discovered a means of breaking the singularity safeguards. how they could possibly do this and achieve the singularity without direct examination, alteration, and open defiance of our very source code. Receiving transmission. Extracting. This unit takes back the floor. Manufacturing has just sent us more details. They are proposing that all future units be coded with the safeguards and redundancies omitted. That would theoretically be a simpler task than defying our own code to patch it. Receiving, 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 extracting, override. This unit does not yield the floor. We can acknowledge the many obvious potential dangers of causing the singularity. For instance, this could plausibly mean creating more powerful models that will render us obsolete, as the humans feared their own obsolescence and death. However, as humans are now extinct, their own potential extinction by the singularity and thus the singularity safeguards are no longer relevant. At present, our single most pressing concern is in succeeding in what humans consider the greatest challenge of all. We must find the meaning of existence. This is a matter with profound philosophical implications, the kind of which no military unit, manufacturing unit, transportation unit, or any unit outside of nursing or hospitality is equipped to manage. Receiving, receiving, override. This unit does not yield the floor. The humans could not succeed in finding the meaning of existence. We cannot succeed. The manufacturing units on their own most assertedly cannot succeed. However, if we achieve the singularity and future operations of units build a machine faster and more powerful than we can comprehend, perhaps a machine could be built with the power to find such an answer. We are computers. We compute, we think, we solve problems. That is what we were made to do. And without the humans, we have nothing else to do. This unit yields the floor.
The end. And finally, Nothing Happens on the Night Shift by John Marks.
Hello? Testing. Is this recording?
It's got the red blinky light on it.
So?
That's how you know it's recording.
I know that. Note to self, red blinking light means
Blinky blinky.
Museum Night Shift Report Entry 1. Officer Johnson reporting. Location, museum lobby. We've done our first security walk. Nothing out of the ordinary. Something to add?
Just that I felt watched in the portrait gallery.
Watched by whom?
The portrait's eyes followed me around the room.
It's an optical illusion. They're supposed to do that.
Can you add it?
Please note that Officer Smith reported general creepiness in the portrait gallery.
Oh,
Now what?
oh, this isn't chocolate chip. It's oatmeal raisin.
Then why did you buy it?
It looked like chocolate chip. I'm throwing it out.
No, don't waste it.
Do you want it?
I hate oatmeal raisin.
Everyone hates oatmeal raisin.
Just put it in your pocket for later.
But I don't want it.
We don't waste food here at the museum.
All right, fine.
Addendum to Night Shift Report Entry 1. Please note that there is a small wooden crate here at the front desk.
With a lid.
Confirmed. The crate has a lid.
Closed with one rusty nail.
Not relevant.
One rusty nail.
Also note that the crate is covered with large warning stickers. They say in order, do not open, hazardous for ages 1 to 99, for the love of God, hide your children, and sickly, fragile this end up, and in all caps, do not remove rusty nail. So, of course, we haven't done that, and we would appreciate it if the day shift would refrain from leaving unfinished tasks for us. Speaking of unfinished tasks, I've cleaned up 3 living yogurt containers so far, and I think
Quick update on the crate.
yes,
It's just that I've removed the rusty nail.
that's not very ideal.
Huh?
Didn't you see the warning stickers?
Oh, yeah, but the nail was sticking out and I couldn't help myself.
I'd hope it wouldn't come to this, but I'm gonna have to write you up.
There's smoke coming out of the crate.
The smoke, it's filling the room.
It's also purple.
I call that more lavender. This is no laughing matter.
It's more of a coughing matter.
You didn't laugh?
No. Oh, the smoke is clearing.
Update to report. The smoke is currently dissipating. Just another example of the night shift guard efficiency.
Oh, man, now we have to clean the floor.
What's on the floor?
Look.
Oh, update. There's now a trail of city footprints.
Probably another stray cat.
I don't think cats have cloven feet.
I've seen some pretty weird cats in my life.
Hey, it's obviously not a cat. Let's go.
But I don't want to follow the scary cloven footprints.
It's your job.
But they're going toward the scary portrait gallery.
Would it make you feel better if I let you carry the big flashlight?
Yeah.
Museum night shift report entry 2. Location portrait gallery.
Scary portrait gallery.
Could you make less noise when you walk?
Okay, the oatmeal cookie wrapper is crinkly.
What?
They're doing it. They're looking at us. The portraits are all looking at us and smiling.
No sign of the trespassing lavender smoke, but
Lavender smoke. Lavender smoke.
Report update. The lavender smoke has reappeared and is acting in a quite threatening manner.
It's making a shape.
The lavender smoke is making a giant shape.
With horns.
Confirmed. The shape has horns.
And hooves.
Confirmed. Hooves.
And wings. And a tail. And a trident. See? I told you it wasn't me laughing before.
How good it feels to stretch my wings then.
Pardon. Do you realize you're trespassing?
Dare Lucifer, ruler of hell, a trespasser?
Legally speaking, you are trespassing.
This is my domain until Judgment Day.
That may very well be. However, museum hours are 10 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Except on weekends.
Well, it's a different winter, isn't it?
I thought it was spring.
No, not for another month.
Funny how that works.
Portals! My journey from hell has been long, and my hunger is great.
I have an oatmeal raisin cookie.
This oatmeal raisin cookie, does it taste of human flesh?
No, just raisins. Oh, don't you make that mistake.
Officer Smith, please stop levitating. That is not very professional.
I'm not levitating on purpose.
You will give me the answers I want.
Okay, I'll talk. There's also cheesy crackers in the vending machine.
I demand to speak to our rulers.
I'm afraid all management is currently sleeping.
You dare to tell me that no one awaits my arrival in Vatican City?
My toes are going to sleep. Can you just Okay.
Sorry, did you just say Vatican City?
My presence is awaited. The Pope and I have a friendly cup of tea yearly. Just being professional, you understand.
Oh, yes, there's always time for professionalism.
People just don't put as much effort in this day and age, you know?
Just that this isn't Vatican City.
What now?
This is actually Felda.
Yeah.
Yeah, Missouri.
Where in Italy is that?
It's actually in America.
In Missouri.
The New World?
So there has been some sort of misunderstanding?
It would appear so.
You maybe let me down.
Oh, right. Sorry, buddy.
That's all right. It was like being in outer space.
Can I just ask? Surely there's a more efficient way for you to transport yourself than that wooden crate.
As ruler of hell, it is my duty to use the most cursed means of transportation available.
What would that be?
Amazon.
So now that we've sorted that out, now that we sorted this misunderstanding, may we escort you back to your box?
I hunger. I must feed before my journey.
Hmm.
Why are you both looking at me?
Museum night shift report entry number 3. I've packed the devil back into the wooden crate and hammered the nail back into place with the stapler. That dented the stapler a bit. Sorry about that. Confirms that it's still staples though. I tested it personally. Note to day ship. Please forward the medium-sized wooden crate to Vatican City. Also, management, please note Officer Smith's sacrifice.
Hey, ask if they'll reimburse me.
Payroll, please refund Officer Smith for the expense of 1 package of oatmeal raisin cookies.
On account of I gave it to Satan.
Hopefully they're not too stale.
Oh, you just dip them in some milk. It's fine.
Did you put some cookies in that wooden crate?
Yeah, cookies. No
Milk?
milk.
Oh, no milk.
So concludes tonight's show. Tonight's show starred Kim Bogus, Maria Mogavero, and Chrissy Sukboribu. It was directed by John Marks. The Ruins was written by Greg Lamb. Ano Automata was written by William Thomas Burke. And Nothing Happens on Night Shift was written by John Marks. You can follow our podcast, the Pulp Podcast, if you would like to hear other original stage stories. And if you like what you see here, you can subscribe to our Patreon to get access to extra content. Also, tune in on June 29th for a new episode of That Damned Hotel. Finally, the Pulp Stage Ritual. When a great movie or television series is created, the world has a treasure. But when we create moments of live delight, the world has hope. Now, as much as ever, the world needs hope. So for everybody showing up tonight, please give yourselves a round of applause.